Hey guys, this is Sho from Alien Rides, and today I'm going to show you how to set up your first Begode wheel. Alright, to start, we're going to take the wheel out of the box. First, let's take out the charger and all the documents. So we think it's easier to roll the wheel out of the box instead of lifting it straight up like this. And to do that, tilt the box forward, just like so, and then just roll it out, just like that. All right, next is to take the wheel out of transport mode. We send all of our wheels in transport mode to protect them during shipping, and I'll show you how to take it out. First, you press the cutoff switch, which is under the handle. You can see it again here, and here on the Nikola. So what you do is you hold down the cutoff switch and you press the power button 5 times. We'll demonstrate on the Nikola. So first, you power the wheel on. Then you hold the lift switch, which will cause 2 beeps, and then you press the power button 5 times and it will beep each time. At the end, it will do 1 long beep, which will let you know it's ready. So those are the 2 beeps. There's the long beep. Turn the wheel off, and then turn it back on, and now it's ready to ride. And all 4 of these wheels use the exact same system. They all have a cutoff switch under the handle and use the power button to cycle through. These 2 models don't have lift sensors, so the way that they get taken out of transfer mode is a little bit different. So because there's no lift sensor, all you have to do is press the power button 5 times. So after powering on the wheel, you have a short period of time to press that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's ready to go. So Begode sends all their wheels in transfer mode to protect them during shipping. We're going to show you how to take all these suspension wheels out of transport mode. So to start, power on the wheel. So as you can see, it does not balance and it beeps. So to take it out of transfer mode, you hold down the cutoff switch and then you press the power button 5 times. You'll hear each time you press the power button 1 beep. And at the end of 5 beeps, you'll hear 1 long beep, and that's how you know it's ready. Long beep, and turn it off, and then turn it back on, and it's ready to ride. The Hero is a bit special in that you need to use the trolley handle to activate it. So to start, turn it on. Bring the trolley handle down until you hear 2 beeps, and then press the power button 5 times. Turn the wheel back on, and it's ready to go. Now we'll show you how to calibrate your wheel. So start by turning your wheel on, then go to the Begode app and connect. Once it's connected, go to the top right in settings and go down to calibration setting. It will give you a confirmation message, and when you press confirm, the wheel will go limp and beep 3 times. During this time, you can turn it off. Let's go ahead and do that. Now it's ready for calibration. When you turn the wheel back on, it will be in calibration mode. This is the time that we set the angle of the pedal. So if I want a neutral pedal angle, I'll hold it flat like so. You can use a third-party app on your phone to figure out what the pedal angle exactly is. When you turn it on, there'll be 5 beeps followed by 1 never-ending beep. Hold it in the position, and then during that long final beep, turn the wheel off. That will set your pedal angle. So let's go ahead and do that now. Now the wheel is calibrated and it's ready to go. Every wheel has 3 distinct riding modes: hard, medium, and soft. Now these modes are very different in the sense that the wheel will react differently when you accelerate and decelerate. For example, in hard mode, the pedals will stay stiff and rigid as you accelerate and decelerate. In soft mode, the pedals will dip when you accelerate, like so, not as this extreme, but they'll dip forward, and when braking, they'll dip backwards. Now this can help you get a little bit more leverage when accelerating and decelerating, but it doesn't affect the performance, so it's just a preference. To change your riding mode, first, turn on the wheel. Then, in the Begode app, once you're connected, in the top right corner, tap the settings icon. Then, at the very, very top, it says mode setting. Here, when you tap, you'll have 3 distinct settings, as listed as before: strong, medium, and soft. The screen here actually tells you what riding mode you're in with this number. 3 represents hard, 2 represents medium, and 1 represents soft. So we'll see here, I'm going to change to medium mode. Once I tap medium, I press save, and it will say switch to medium, and you see here the number switches to 2. And now this is the same if I swap back to strong, it goes back to 3. All electric unicycles have something called a power alarm, which represents how much capacity the wheel is at. So on Begode wheels, by default, this power alarm is at 80%. As we can see here, when I do a lift test, so as you saw there, the beeps went off around 61 and 62 miles per hour. So that meant that 80% of the capacity was being used at that speed with no weight on it. So obviously this number is a lot lower when there's a rider on it. So that's typically 10 miles per hour lower when it comes to these top models. Begode has introduced a feature to their newer models where you can change what percentage the beeps go off at. So to change that, top right settings, then go to power alarm. You will then get a scroll menu where you can choose what percentage you want the power alarm to go off at. For this example, we'll bring it all the way down to the lowest, which is 50, but it can go as high as 90. Now it's set, and every now and then when setting this alarm, it can potentially crash the app, but as long as you go back in the app and see that the setting has been changed, it means you're all ready to go. Now we'll see what 50% capacity is. As you can see, the top speed has not changed, but the alarms go off significantly sooner. Now we'll go over how to update the firmware on your Begode wheel. So we recommend not updating the firmware on your Begode wheel unless instructed to by a dealer. First, power on the wheel. Then on the Begode app, connect to the wheel. Then in the bottom right corner, press the Me tab. And if you haven't made an account, make an account with Begode. And once you're logged in, go to the bottom where it says settings. Then on the very, very bottom again, firmware upgrade. For this example, we're going to use the M10.4, and because it doesn't really matter, we're going to have a little fun and do the M10.4 Fun LED firmware update. It's very simple. All you have to do is tap the firmware you want, and it will come up with a little page that will show the percentage, the model, and the current version you have. Now all you have to do is tap the black button that says firmware upgrade, and then the firmware update will begin. The wheel will then go limp, and you can just rest it on its kickstand. While it's updating, the wheel will beep the entire time. And when it's done beeping, that means the update is complete. Cool. At the end of the update, the beeps will stop and the wheel will turn off. To complete the update, all you have to do is turn the wheel back on. So the beeps are complete, the wheel is now off, and all I have to do is turn it back on. And now we have fun LEDs. So your suspension wheel could come with one of these 3 pumps. We have a very standard shock pump. This is only used for your shock. And basically, you just screw this in to the valve, and then this will lock it in. You can also release some of the pressure by pressing this button here, and that will slowly release some pressure. Screw it onto the valve stem, and lock it with the switch. The last pump is similar to the second in that it only works with the shock. The only difference is the locking mechanism is screw rather than a switch. You can also press this button to release some pressure as well. So to pump the suspension, first remove the valve cap from the valve stem. Then take the valve and screw it on like so. Then it's just as simple as pumping. See here, we've already reached 40 psi. To release, unscrew the top part so you don't lose any air when you unscrew from, you see here. And then you may unscrew from the main valve. This pump is special because it can pump your tire and your suspension. You can see at the bottom, HP stands for high pressure, which is used to pump your suspension. You can flip it over to high V, which is high volume, which is meant for your tire. Finally, similar to the second pump, this is the same locking mechanism. And if you need to release any pressure, just press this button and it'll release them. Next, we will show you how to pump the tire. We're going to use this pump to show us double feature, and this can be used exactly the same way as any other bicycle pump. So first, remove the valve cap from the valve stem. Swap it over from high pressure to high volume. And next, just pump it like any normal pump. And then to remove, unscrew it from the valve stem. Then place the valve cap back on the valve stem, and you're good to go. For help on recommended PSI for the shock and tire, you can visit inlandres.com and reference our resources page. Every Begode wheel comes with a compatible charger. The Master comes with a 134 volt, 3 amp charger. Plug the wall out cable into the charger, like so. Then, first, plug the charger into the socket. You'll then see the light turn green. That means it's ready to charge. Then, on the Master, lift up the trolley handle, and expose the charging ports, and then using the groove on the bottom, plug it in. You'll then see the light turn red, and you'll hear the fans turn on. That's how you know it's charging. Next, we'll show you the process on the 100 volt wheels, which is identical to the 134 volt wheels and is also the same on 84 volt wheels. First again, plug the wall socket cable into the charger. Then, plug it in to the socket. Just like before, the light will turn green. Then, plug it into the wheel. Again, look for the groove to find which way is the bottom and plug it in. Again, you'll see the light turn red. Next, we will show you the incorrect way to charge your wheel. So, to start, if you just plug in the wheel right away, you'll hear a little pop. That could eventually damage the charger and your charge port. When the wheel is done charging, this light will then turn green. Near the end of the charge cycle, you'll see this light flicker between red and green, and that means the cells are balancing. This is totally normal and safe. Now your Begode wheel is ready to go. Subscribe and let's ride.